In our first story, over 70% of elected assembly members in the 16 districts of the Greater Accra region have endorsed the new Patriotic Party flag bearer, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Speaking at a news conference here in Accra on Tuesday, the group said it reached its decision after considering Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's one district, one factory policy. The group also explained that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's $1 million per constituency policy is achievable.
The assembly members are supposed to be a symbol of the hopes, challenges, and aims of the Ghanaian, including the marginalized and the vulnerable in the society. Local level participation in decision and implementation of programs should ensure all Ghanaians share in the benefits. The assembly members share the vision of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the one district, one factory policy. According to this act, according to the Act 462, Section 10, functions of the District Assembly. 1. Subject to Act 462, the District Assembly exercise political and administrative authority in the district, provide guidelines, give directions to, and supervise all other administrative authorities in the district. Therefore, we, the Honorable Assembly members, are agents of development in our various electoral areas. We believe this vision of one district, one factory will reduce the rate of unemployment in the various districts in Ghana, thereby improving the economic activities of our respective electoral areas. Secondly, we also strongly support the vision of the Vice President candidate of the new Patriotic Party, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, allocation of $1 million to each constituency per year. This fund, when brought into fruition, will develop the various electoral areas which are headed by the respective assembly members.
And according to the secretary of the group, Alfred J., 7 years under the Mahama-led administration has crippled the economy and also saddled it with a huge debt stock.
Well, the group also alleges that the NDC government has enriched itself and its cronies under the guise of undertaking infrastructure projects to the detriment of the vulnerable in society.
Ghana is in the bad state, and in every area of our national life, we are going backwards. The NDC Mahama government has nothing to campaign on. The question we need to ask ourselves is, what is the campaign message of NDC? They are borrowed as if there will be no tomorrow and have mortgaged our future. Ghanaians, especially the youth, need to have hope again. Together, we will bring that change to Ghana. Together, we will bring Ghana back to the path of development and prosperity. Yes. We, the over 70% of assembly members in Greater Accra, charge each and every one to come together and bring a massive change in the political history of our dear nation, Ghana. Yes. This is the time. Let every son and daughter of Mother Ghana join hands and let's arise for change. We call on each and every Ghanaian, including the teachers, the nurses, the unemployed, the working class, the vulnerable, the youth, and the aged to support the endorsement of and vote massively for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the new Patriotic Party in the December 7, 2016 presidential election to be elected the President of the Republic of Ghana.
The Eastern Regional Disaster Management Committee says it has banned all physical infrastructural development and other related activities being undertaken on waterways.
At a regional disaster committee meeting Tuesday, the committee noted that most of the flood-related disasters that has hit the New Durban municipality and some 8 adjoining districts are human-induced. The region has recorded about 3 major disasters following heavy downpour, leaving 3 dead so far. Here's Eastern Regional Minister Mavis Amafrimpong Gatti.
Well, let's look at this. Most women are emotional and likely to break down in tears upon hearing news or other sight of the lifeless body of their partners, irrespective of the circumstances of their death.
Well, the opposite, however, is the case of a 33-year-old widow whose husband committed suicide after attempting to kill her at Asotwe near Ejuso near Shanti region. Ohime Interior has been speaking to the widow at her base at Asotwe, and she confesses how glad she is that the husband instead ended up dead. She tells her story in the following report.
For Rose Kenya, the passing of Matthias Edungon, with whom she had been married for over 16 years, is a blessing in disguise. She escaped death when the man fired a gun at her at close range and hit her in the shoulder in an apparent attempt to kill her. It followed misunderstanding between the couple, leading to quarrels and subsequent separation of the couple. In the company of other residents, Rose was on her way to the farm when her husband, described as a sharpshooter, ambushed and attacked her.
In my case, he threatened me many times, but I thought it was a joke until he actually carried it through. If he were alive today, there is no way we could live together any longer.
Not even intervention from the woman's colleagues could dissuade Matthias from his intention on that fateful Wednesday. He fired and hit Rose before disappearing into the bush. Moments later, while the woman was being sent to the hospital, news spread around Matthias had committed suicide. Rose is not moved by her husband's death as the family awaits police to release the body for burial.
But for God's intervention, I'm sure I would have been dead now. I don't feel sad over his death at all. He had always threatened to kill me. I know he would not have committed suicide if he knew I was alive.
Rose says she survived by divine intervention from the man she had known as a good marksman with a gun. The mother of 4, who hails from Paga in the Upper East region, has a lesson to share with her peers who suffer spousal abuse. She says don't just flee from their threats, report them to police.
And in Accra, there's a debate, and it's over whether or not to remove the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, we know, that very Indian who fought for the freedom of his people, from the campus of the University of Ghana. And this continues as the statue of the Indian has been disfigured, generating fresh debate over whether it should be brought down or not.
Well, as members of the Gandhi Must Fall campaign wait for a decision on their petition to the University of Ghana Council to get the statue removed, some persons have removed the signature spectacles of the Indian freedom fighter in the early hours of Tuesday. The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Emmanuel Bombande, was at the site where the statue is erected to ascertain for himself the damage caused to the monument gifted to the university by the government of India, but he would not make any public comments on the matter.
This statue of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the Indian freedom fighter, has generated lots of controversies here on the University of Ghana campus. Some students are calling for its removal. They say Mahatma Gandhi was a racist. There are some students who disagree with that assertion. They say the statue should be left here.
But when we look back into the life of Mahatma Gandhi, he's a great guy, he was a hero, he was a very wise man. He saved India and all that. But Mahatma Gandhi was also known to be a racist. So we don't really understand why Mahatma Gandhi statue is erected in the center of the school. But it's not a very, I don't support the idea of destroying the statue or something like that. It doesn't speak well of the school. But still, we don't understand why a statue of Mahatma Gandhi of all people was erected over here. I mean, even Martin Luther King would have been more suitable. Or even, we have so many great Ghanaian forefathers we look up to, but it's like we are looking to the foreigners instead. And of all the foreigners, we had to take Mahatma Gandhi, who is also known to be racist to black people.
Okay, personally, I don't even know anything about him, but then I heard he was a racist. Okay, I don't have a problem with it being here, so long as he was a racist and he's dead. I have no problem with it. Like, he's dead, so it's not important anymore. So he can be here as long as they want it. I don't have any problem.
I asked myself why Mahatma Gandhi, because you take a look around and you realize most statues on campus have only, should I say, a portrait of the people. But why Mahatma Gandhi? Why should he have his full stature? And I think the taking of the glasses is just simple. Students want Gandhi to come down, and should I say, someone has shown his or her way by coming for the glasses. I don't think it's the right thing to do, though. But in as much as it's not the right thing, the person has done it. And what we should look at is what is the reason behind. And basically, the reason will be Gandhi must fall. And that's what most students on campus are saying, Gandhi must fall.
Well, there's been so many arguments concerning why it shouldn't be there. But I personally, contrary to the views of many, think it should be there. Even though he said many things, as we have said, or realized he did back then, I prefer to focus on the positive things he did for the world. Now, you know that many of the leaders in the world, even in Africa here, actually used his values of freedom, civil disobedience, to actually achieve independence. And I prefer to focus on that, the good thing he has done, rather than focus on one or two things he said back then.
Dr. Obadele Kambon is a member of the Gandhi Must Fall campaign. He says their petition has gathered about 1,800 signatures already. He says they've received a letter from the University of Ghana Council.
I definitely understand it. This is someone who referred to Africans as 1 degree removed from an animal. This is someone who called African people half heathen, savages, and things of this nature. And then also fought against the Zulu people, you know, really established institutional apartheid through the Durban Post Office and Telegraph Office, making sure they had a separate, you know, door. There's someone who disenfranchised the Dalits. Now that people have this information, I definitely understand it. But what I would also, you know, encourage, you know, people to do would be to exercise patience. That, you know, I just showed you we have over 1,750 signatures on the petition so far. It's been delivered to council and we've received a letter back. So this is something that the general public doesn't know, but just yesterday we received a letter saying that, you know, at the next meeting of council, they will table it, you know, for consideration. And they've also taken the petition and distributed it to all members of council. So, you know, I would say exercise patience. I do understand it. I understand the frustration. I understand the anger. If you don't have any images of yourself, but you have images of someone who called you an animal, images of someone who, the only reason that he didn't shoot up your grandmother is that he happened not to be deployed to Ghana, or the British happened not to say we're going to give you arms, even though he was agitating for arms to be able to shoot up all the Africans that he could. So, you know, I definitely understand it, but I would say, you know, exercise patience. We're going along the right channels and things of this nature.
With a new twist of some unscrupulous people disfiguring the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, some people say that it can strain diplomatic relations between India and Ghana. The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Emmanuel Bombande, was here to ascertain for himself the extent of damage caused to the statue, but he will not speak and make any public comments on the issue. For Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
Well, very interesting comments there as well, and various or varied views on the subject of how influential or not, or whether he was a racist or not, Mahatma Gandhi. Well, one thing I can say though, we remember him for the good things he stood for and all the negativities in his life. I guess we all have difficulties or problems that we tend to generate in our life.
I agree very much. That's it for the AM News for now. You know, we do have a lot more news when you get onto our website, which we'll visit in a short while together or alongside the newspapers.
Which is up next.